OMG. So for those of us who are still saving for that crazy expensive galactic star cruiser trip,
Let's cool it down here.
no, wait, forget that. For those people who are just still saving for any Disney-themed trip, Disney has just released a new trip that will probably be out of your reach. And its starting price is $109,995 for just one person, based on double occupancy. Yep, that's right. I guess Disney hasn't been hearing all of us who are saying that anything with the word Disney in its name is just getting too expensive.
Let them eat cake.
Because they've just released a new product for all of us to dream about. But honestly, I'm looking at this thing and thinking that if I had $109,995 to blow, I sure wouldn't be spending it on a trip. I'd be investing it so that I can go to college or maybe buy a condo. Or hey, if I really had so much money that I could spend $109,995 on just one trip, I'd be donating it to some nonprofit to help some worthy cause. Just saying, Disney. But anyway, here's what the Primo trip entails. Do you think it's worth that price tag? And more importantly, do you think that now is an appropriate time for Disney to release information about this product?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Or is it tone deaf? Because that's my biggest question here. What do you think? I'd love to know, so please comment down below. And when you do, please guys help me out here. Hit that subscribe button. Are you ready? So here it is. Exactly what $109,995 will get one person in the new Disney reality. You'll start your adventure in Los Angeles and Anaheim, where you will enjoy a welcome dinner at the Lincoln Theater in Disneyland Park, and then watch some fireworks. You'll stay at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa. On day 2, you'll get a Walt Disney Studios tour, shopping at the studio store so that you can spend even more money. And then a World of Color viewing, which is a nighttime show at Disney California Adventure. On day 3, you'll get Disneyland pre-open access, just because, well, you're really special apparently. You'll also get a Sleeping Beauty Castle photo op, which you know you can actually do yourself for free, but I guess it's not the same. You'll get a Disneyland Park VIP tour and a Disney California Adventure VIP tour, because you don't want to be in line with average people like me. On day 4, you will fly to San Francisco on a private flight, which I'll admit sounds pretty amazing to a kid who has never even flown first class. And you'll get a Walt Disney Family Museum tour, which sounds pretty boring, a Lucasfilm campus tour, which sounds pretty amazing, and a Summit Skywalker Ranch dinner and activities. Day 5 will be more time at Summit Skywalker Ranch, including yoga, which just FYI you can probably get for a lot cheaper than this. A quote, special guest presentation, which is a little too vague for me. A hike to an observatory, and just so you know, hiking is a free activity. A gala dinner where you can probably eat really nice food with equally wealthy people, and then a Disney trivia night. That, just so you know, you could have done on a much cheaper Disney cruise. Day 6 is a travel day, and I have to read this one straight from the Adventures by Disney website because it's actually kind of funny. Board the private jet to embark on your flight to Tokyo, Japan, the first international destination on your journey. Relax in the VIP configured jet that offers additional room and includes footrests to ensure your comfort throughout your adventure. During your flight, lunch and snacks will be served, and there will be adventure guide-led activities. There will be a stop in Anchorage, Alaska, and as you continue your flight, you'll cross the international date line prior to your arrival in Tokyo. This kind of makes me laugh that they talk about footrests, because the kind of planes that people who have $109,995 to blow on one trip usually have actual beds to sleep in. Like literally. I've seen them on YouTube. And I love that they play up the fact that you have a stopover in Anchorage, Alaska, as though having a stopover is a good thing. Notice that you're not doing any cool Alaska side trips. You're just stopping there and moving on. I think that was a huge mistake for them to call attention to this, because for that price, I want a direct flight to Tokyo, because if all I get is a footrest, I'm still going to be anxious to get off that plane. On day 7, you'll arrive in Tokyo, and seeing Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea is something that you'll have to do on your own. And just FYI, you'll be too jet lagged to enjoy anything, so I wouldn't spend any extra money on this day. On day 8, while still struggling with jet lag, you'll get to see Tokyo Disney Sea Experience or Tokyo Disneyland. But both are dubbed as on your own exploration, so I think you have to still pay extra. You'll also get reserved seating for the Tokyo Disneyland Daytime Parade and their quote, Believe Sea of Dreams, whatever that is. This day really confuses me because they don't mention that you get a VIP tour of Tokyo Disneyland, which for the price I'd really expect. And even worse, it sounds like you're paying extra for the parks that day. But maybe they just forgot to throw that in. On day 9, you have some options. You can go back to Tokyo Disneyland or do some other things, including one option of a full-day Kamakura Zen tour, which sounds cool, but it's essentially a temple tour. And the Zen part? Well, according to Wikipedia, quote, Zen emphasizes rigorous self-restraint. And call me crazy, but I don't feel like a trip this expensive has anything to do with self-restraint, do you? On day 10, you get to fly to Shanghai, and then you have some optional activities that I guess you're going to spend more money on. On day 11, you get a, quote, Shanghai Disneyland tour, Shanghai Disneyland premiere tour, dinner in an exclusive location, and a Shanghai Disneyland nighttime spectacular viewing area. So I'm assuming again that it must be some kind of a VIP tour when they use the word premiere, but I'm not really sure. And why did they mention a tour twice? Do you get the bare bones tour in the morning and the premiere tour in the evening, or what? And as for the dinner in an exclusive location, just so you know, for $109,995, I'll give you dinner in an exclusive location myself, the back room of the fast food restaurant where I work. Very exclusive. You can hang out with us teens as we plot our escape out of our fast food careers. Just saying. On day 12, you'll fly to Hong Kong and have some options of activities. On day 13, you'll see Hong Kong on your own, and then you'll also get what they call a, quote, momentous guided park tour, private dinner, and a, quote, momentous nighttime spectacular from the reserved viewing area. I'm baffled by the use of the word momentous here. On day 14, you'll go to Agra, India, where you get a couple options of tours, and just FYI, they have nothing to do with Disney. On day 15, you'll still be in India, and you'll get to see the Taj Mahal, and don't be one of those tourists trying to find hidden Mickeys there, because you won't find any unless you get really creative. Day 16, you're headed to Cairo, Egypt, where you'll see the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. Again, no hidden Mickeys. Day 17, you're headed to Paris, France, not Paris, Texas, where you'll get a fancy dinner and fireworks viewing. This is when they start putting Disney back into the trip. Day 18, you get to see Disneyland Paris. And yay, they're back to calling it a VIP tour, so that's good. Day 19, you have some options for seeing more of Paris and the surrounding areas, because there really is a lot more to see there other than just Disneyland Paris. Though if these people are as rich as I think they are, I'd bet they've already been there. Day 20, you're headed back to the US, and you'll be in Orlando, and you'll get more fireworks. And while you might be anxious to get into the parks and ride some rides, you're going to have to wait until day 21, when you'll get a full day at Magic Kingdom Park, and I'm hoping it will be a VIP tour, but they don't mention that, so I'm a little sus. You'll also get a behind-the-scenes monorail tour, which sounds really odd. And they mention the Festival of Fantasy Parade and Nighttime Spectacular, but they don't say you get a special viewing area there, which I think sounds disappointing for this price. But again, maybe they just forgot to mention that. Or maybe they think you are so jet-lagged at this point that you won't notice. On day 22, you'll spend your day at Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. You'll get a behind-the-scenes tour of the Kilimanjaro Safari, but other than that, they don't mention any more special treatment up until dinner, where you'll get to share it with your fellow rich people who booked this tour. On day 23, you'll go to Tri-Circle D Ranch, where I'm hoping you'll get to ride some horses, but they don't actually say that, so maybe you're cleaning the stalls. I have no clue. You'll also get a flavor lab visit and an afternoon at Epcot where you will get VIP viewing of the fireworks. Finally, we get something VIP again. On day 24, they will take you back to the airport where a private plane will not be waiting for you unless you booked it separately. That's right, you're back on your own again, traveling with boring average people like me. So should you go? I guess that depends on whether you think $109,995 per person, based on double occupancy, is worth it for a trip like this. And oh wait, it also depends on whether you've got that much money to blow on a trip in the first place. For me, I love the idea of a private plane, but it's not really private if you're just sharing it with a bunch of other tourists, even if they are equally as rich as you apparently are. And if I had that kind of money, I'd really rather try one of those first-class tickets where you get an actual bed. That sounds a lot more worth it. And I'm kind of shocked that they don't mention you get VIP access to all of the parks you go to. Again, maybe this was a mistake on their part, but I'm suspicious since they specifically mention it in some parks but not in others. And I feel like throwing the trip to India and Egypt in there is just kind of random. I know that Adventures by Disney will take you to all sorts of non-Disney places, but in a trip where everything else in the trip is so Disney focused, it seems a little odd. As for the price of it, I can't afford it, and even if I could, as I've said before, my priorities are elsewhere. But it does add a ton of cost to a trip when you're using a private jet, I imagine. So maybe that's how they justify the price. But I can't help feeling like it's just a little tone deaf.
Let them eat cake.
To release this trip right now, when Disney is already getting so much flack about park tickets being so expensive, and now that new Galactic Star Cruiser being so expensive, and now this? And I also can't help wondering how many people they're even going to sell this trip to. And it surprises me that they'd risk ticking all the rest of us off just to reach those few wealthy people. Look, I'm not a Disney hater. In fact, I love Disney. I grew up on it. Hey, I'm 16, so I'm still growing up on it. But there have just been so many things they are throwing at us these days that my family can't afford, and I'm betting there are a lot of others who feel the same way. So if I worked for Disney marketing right now, I don't think I would have created a trip like this when they're already getting a lot of complaints about the price of things like park tickets. Let me know what you think about this trip in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell.